Uh, Thank you very much, Mr. President. And you couldn't pick a better person than Cedric Richmond, and we look forward to working with him as well. First of all, let me thank you for signing my request for a pre-landfall declaration, and then last night signing the major disaster declaration. That's going to be very helpful. Hurricane Ida came on shore with everything that was advertised.
Yep.
The surge, the rain, the wind. The good news first is all of our levee systems, particularly our federal levee systems and the hurricane risk reduction systems, performed magnificently. They were not overtopped. None of them were breached. Even our levee systems that were paid for with state and local funding in LaFouche and Terrebonne Parish performed extremely well. It would be a different story altogether had any of those levee systems failed. Having said that, the damage is still catastrophic, but it was primarily wind-driven. But we know that there were some areas that received tremendous rainfall as well. But we're going to be dealing with this damage for quite a while. And you mentioned the power outage. That is critical for us. And it's really 1 million homes and businesses that are out. And my best guess is you're getting closer to 2 million people without electricity right now. And of course, we're trying to prioritize the restoration so that our hospitals come back up first, because while they're all on generator power, generators typically, fail after some period of time. So we want to get them back up first. And in the meantime, we already have the Corps of Engineers on the ground identifying additional generators that we can bring to these hospital locations so that should we have a failure before power is restored, we're going to be able to switch them over. They're working extremely hard on that. And we have FEMA embedded with us here since before the storm. The truth of the matter is they've been at GOSEP since the day I became governor. They haven't left because of one disaster or emergency after another. But they're doing really well. We look forward to visiting with Administrator Quiswell, who I think is going to be able to come down tomorrow, Mr. President. But this is going to be a long haul, and we know that we're going to need assistance with a housing program. We're putting together preliminary information this week that can potentially drive an appropriation for CDBG. We'll be getting with you all, and I'll work through Cedric Richmond on that, Mr. President, to make sure that we can get a program up and running just as soon as possible. But I want to finish with really the most important thing. We are still in a life-saving mode here doing search and rescue. The roads, the highways into the most affected area were completely clogged with debris, down power lines, trees. We're making really good progress. We actually started our ground search and rescue this morning at daylight. We dispatched those forces. And by the way, we already had search and rescue teams from 16 states in Louisiana as of yesterday. They started moving to the affected areas at 3 o'clock this morning. At 6 o'clock, they were actually doing search and rescues from 911 calls that came in over the night that couldn't be responded to. And then by 6 o'clock this morning, we actually were effecting rescues out of the air as well. And the last thing I want to say is that the very first rescues occurred at a hospital in Galliano down in LaFouche Parish by the U.S. Coast Guard, because they were able to fly before any other assets could. And they were able to move about 7 patients from a hospital down there. You probably saw the hospital that had the roof just completely taken off yesterday. Your Coast Guard rescued and relocated those patients first thing this morning, and we are very appreciative of that.